Hi guys, Virginia Barnes of Barnesviolins here, and I'm going to tell you another story from my past. Sometimes these stories are helpful to give some perspective. By the way, before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave comments because we would love to hear from you. I'm from Flemington, New Jersey, and when I was young and advancing on my violin, I got an upgraded violin and knew that I needed to go to the right luthier to get it taken care of properly. And in my case, I either had to go all the way to New York City, which is about, if you're lucky with no traffic, an hour and a half from Flemington, New Jersey, or south to Philadelphia. Also, if you're lucky and there's no traffic, an hour and a half drive. Whereas down here in beautiful South Florida, yes, we have customers who are about that far away, or if a little bit more, but on a Saturday morning, no traffic. Somebody, for instance, from Naples could have a nice drive over here first thing in the morning. We open at 10, could have an appointment to try instruments, or leave off an instrument to be taken care of, then have a nice meal, and there's so many things to do here in Boca Raton, lovely Boca Raton, and be on their way. And it works out quite well. Either the person is able to leave off their instrument and we can take care of it for them, and then by the following Saturday it would be ready, or they're purchasing an instrument and they leave very happy, their teachers are very happy when they get home. So jumping back into the past again, when I would leave off my instrument with the luthier in New York, sometimes it would be at least 2 weeks, no estimate, no telling me it's going to be this much money. I would come back and here's the amount, and that's what it is. With us, we will have our luthier look at the instrument and create an estimate and talk to you very carefully and respectfully about what needs to be done, and then you can say yay or nay. I guess that the point is that we're worth the drive, and for many reasons. Of course, we have a wonderful luthier that can take care of your instrument going forward, whether it's rehair of the bow and changing the strings, checking to make sure that the bridge is in the proper place, sound post adjustment, varnish touch-up, because if you leave little nicks in your instrument and down to bare wood, you're devaluing your instrument, by the way. So once a year, come on in and get these things taken care of. Now let's talk about, let's say you're coming from about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes away, and you find something, but you're like, oh my goodness, how can I involve my teacher if they don't come? Because some teachers do come, and it's a fabulous way for them to hear all the variety of instruments we have, level by level by level, and it's a wonderful experience with the teacher here. Well, in the old days, the antiquated way of doing things before technology and FaceTime and phones was you take your instrument, you bring it to the teacher, they give their blessing, then you have to come back. And really how we do things at Barnesviolins is you really don't pick your bow until you've chosen your instrument, because it needs to match not only yourself and your personality and how it feels in your hands, but it needs to match the instrument that you choose. And so now you have another trip back up here on another day, which, you know, in this day and age, people are super, super busy. It's really hard to even make the time to come. And so instead of doing all that buggy lugging back and forth to where you're from, successfully, I just did this on Saturday, the teacher was able to be involved by FaceTime and heard the child play we were down to 2 instruments, heard the child play the 2 instruments, and then said, Virginia, could you please play them? And they don't look and know which one it is. And I did that, and she really could hear the difference on the phone. And she was able to say, could you play quietly at the tip, let's see, to the student. And her own things that she prefers to check before a purchase, we were able to do it. And at the end, the teacher was involved for the minimum amount of time. Instead of canceling lessons and having to come, she was able to jump in, take care of it, and jump right back to what she was doing, and it works. And then they chose a boat and a case, and they were happily on their way back to Naples. And we had actually never gotten to meet until that morning. They had rented from Naples, and I never met them in person. It was always renting over the phone and processing payments over the phone. And by the time we were done, it wasn't just a handshake of, thank you so much, this was great. It was really appropriate for a hug. So we by the time we are done with this process, that's where we end up. In other situations, successfully, in real time, I have sold instruments to students in Puerto Rico. We have a sales rep there, and then when they are done renting, then they have rental credit to purchase something. So the teacher is listening, the child is listening, the parent is listening, and every time after I send it down, they are in love with the instrument. It does work. So there's also that option. So I guess I'm saying Barnesviolins is worth the trip. You can involve your teacher via FaceTime if necessary, if they are unable to come. Because I was also going to mention, when you have to bring the instrument down and see them during a lesson, now you're using up valuable lesson time on trying out instruments as opposed to just having a regular lesson. So I like this option because it's not part of the lesson. It is just what it is. And that you have one by one compared many instruments already, and you get it down to just maybe 2, and then the teacher can be involved. So I'm saying, I feel that people in Florida, if it's maybe a half hour away, people think that's so far, but I'm from up north where an hour and a half to get what I need, okay, willing to do it. All right, so I guess that's everything I wanted to talk about today. Please like and share and subscribe. Let us know what else you'd like us to talk about. Okay, thanks.